What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app. Be sure to use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. Joined by my guy, Big Dave. Bam! BAWL Sports. We got Steven filling in on the production controls for Joey today. Joey on his way to night 2 of our CHGO Bears draft party. Night 1 was a rousing success. Sorry, Dave, did you go last night?
Yeah, I was there. Absolutely.
Did you see Io?
Yeah, absolutely. Io, his father, the rest of the siblings, they were all there. They were very excited to see me. I was very excited to see them, and it was a lot of fun. We just hung out, talked a lot, laughed a lot. Yeah, it was really, really cool, man. Like, just a lot of people out there. You never know who you're touching and, you know, who's liking what you're doing. And then when you get out there and you see all these people who really do enjoy what you do. And yeah, it was just real fun. And you were definitely asked about from a few people. They were like, where's Matt? When's he coming? Is Matt coming tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, he should be there tomorrow for sure. Yeah. But it was a whole lot of fun, man. I can't lie to you. It was a whole lot of fun.
I can't lie. I got FOMO. Like, Jake sent me and Will a text being like, hey, Io and his dad showed up. And I was like, damn it. Because I made the decision to go tonight instead of last night. So as soon as we wrap up this show, I'm going to head down to Joe's on Weed and get the full experience of the CHGO Bears draft party on night 2. But I'm sorry I missed it. But yeah, it looked like a lot of fun last night. Looked like a great turnout. I'm looking forward to experiencing that tonight. But first, let's have ourselves a fun Friday, shall we?
Yeah. Let me throw out this though. This is in line with Fun Friday. Steven, you can come back on here if you would like, sir. Because dude, when I saw Steven yesterday, and I looked at him, all I did was look at him, Matt, and he gave me that. He stared right back at me. All he did was just stare at me, and I was just started laughing. He was like, "You know, I'm looking at you, right? You know, I'm looking at you, right?"
Threw it on right before the show started, guys. Jimmy Butler, he did it again.
Talk your stuff, sir. Like I said, I'm not here to rain on no parades. Please talk your trash, talk your mess about your boy Jimmy Butler.
I mean,
sir.
The first team to ever win a play-in team to win a playoff series. Here we are. I mean, they're looking so good, guys. And Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. 56. He follows it up with 42, 98 points in a 2-game span, and he didn't really have any support there.
He did. He had to carry that team. You're right. Yeah. He definitely carried him, man. And he won.
I mean, you lose your guard with a broken hand, and it's just like, all right, that should have been the series right there.
Yeah, even in Game 5, like Bam fouls out, and Kyle Lowry fouls out, and it didn't matter. Jimmy Butler just wouldn't let them lose, man. Shout out to him. He did his thing. I know you were very happy, sir.
Extremely happy. I had to bust out the jersey just for the occasion. I haven't worn this thing in years, but let's put on the Bulls Jimmy Butler shirt today.
That's what you missed, man.
Do you have a Jimmy Heat jersey?
I do. A jersey. I have a jersey, and I have the Timberwolves one as well. The only one I'm missing is the 76ers one, which is either way too expensive or
he was barely there.
Yeah, it was half a season. Yeah. But yeah, it's the one I'm missing.
Okay.
All right. I want the right comment here. Jimmy Butler.
As shout out Eli. As a lifelong member of the Jimmy Buckets fan club, I'm happy for you, Steven.
Hey, thank you. This is my moment today. Sorry, guys.
Get to all of our thoughts on the wild way in which that Bucks Heat series ended. A lot quicker than I think most people would have thought, unless it was the other way around. And more thoughts on what's going on in these NBA playoffs on our Fun Friday. But before that, we're kicking off Fun Friday with, that's right, Random Bulls Generator.
Let's do it. Ooh. Let's do this.
You bring one for me today, Dave?
I got one for you. I'll go first on this one. Steven, you can toss me up first, man. Put me into the generator, sir. Pull that lever on down, and let's see who face pops up right there.
Okay. Look at immediate first glance, I thought that was just Derrick Rose with an extra 1 on his jersey.
Well, this person exists. I will give you the background on him. He's from the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx. Went to Seton Hall for all 4 years. Was there in the year 2000. Came out in 2004. He was undrafted. He plays point guard. He played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 NBA teams, and he played for the Bulls in 2006 to the 2007 season. But he played 6 games. He got in and he played 6 games for the Bulls. But after that, he went to the Bakersfield Jam, the Austin Toros, finished up with the Clippers, also played overseas. His career went from 2004 to 2017, playing basketball in the NBA, in the G League, and playing internationally, sir. That is who that young man is. Shout out to him. So, any idea, any clue of who this person could be?
Did you say which year specifically he was with the Bulls?
Yes, 2006, the 2006-2007 season. He was with the Chicago Bulls, and then the Bulls waived him.
That's because I want to say that Lindsey Hunter had a brief cameo with the Bulls, wore number 11, but that didn't look like Lindsey Hunter.
It's definitely not Lindsey Hunter, but you're right. That Lindsey definitely was here.
He
was definitely here.
Wait, Steve, put that picture back up one more time. Let me get another look at this.
Give him one more. Give him one more look. Go and take a look at him.
I'm getting the only other name I can think of from that era. Is it something Barrett? Is it something?
You're close.
Is it Andy Barrett? Is that right?
You're close. See, Jelly has it in the comments. Yes, you're close, Matt. You're very close.
Andre Barrett?
Correct, sir. Correct. Right there. There it is. Andre Barrett, sir. Out there doing his thing. I just love the fact that he loves basketball enough to play that long and play on that many teams and play every single place that he could actually play the game of basketball. Undrafted. And that's what I like about this. He was undrafted, man. He couldn't stop. He kept going. But yes, he played for the Bulls. He was here, sir. Representing.
Man. Alex in the comments said by jersey number, it looks like Ronnie Brewer. I have no idea. Ronnie also rocked number 11, didn't he? While he was here?
He did. He definitely
Chicago's
rocked number
finest
11.
brew.
Oh, wow. Well, you took me back when you said that. Yeah, Stacy. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite Stacyisms back in the day. Everybody always loved give me the hot sauce and too big, too strong, too fast, too good. But on a rare occasion, when Ronnie Brewer made a play that got Stacy excited, ooh, Chicago's finest brew.
He was all arms and legs was Ronnie Brewer, man. He was all arms and legs.
That is impressive though that Andre Barrett made a journeyman career that long.
Correct.
After going undrafted. Like that is
seriously, man. That's a long time to play. And he did his thing. So shout out to him, man. And age is the only reason he stopped.
Wait, so if he was 06, was he on that baby Bulls team that went to the playoffs?
He was on the team. Yes, he was. He played 6 games, like I said, with the Bulls. He didn't average a lot, like, just like 1 point a game, for that team, but he was there.
Six games total.
6 games total.
Okay.
With the Chicago Bulls.
Did not play for them in the playoffs.
No, he didn't play. No. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I was just like it wouldn't have been as deeply buried in the back of my brain if I remember him getting playoff minutes, which I did not.
Absolutely not. He did not get playoff minutes. No, there's no way. Shout out to him, but there's no way he was gonna get playoff minutes, man, on that baby Bulls team. But they did sweep the Heat.
Yeah,
they did sweep the Heat. So yeah, he's a part of that.
Stupid Heat. All right, let's go. My turn. This one is look at Steven pulling up his Andre Barrett's playoff resume. Inactive. Hey, man.
You ain't had to do AB like that. You ain't had to do it like that. You ain't had to do that man that way.
Even if it's inactive, he has that many playoff appearances on his basketball reference page. You got to respect that at the very least.
Guys, I know Joey always does this show. Do you usually give each other guys that only played 6 games? Like I saw Andre Barrett. I watched all those games back then. I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know. I've never heard it. Even when I saw the name, I'm like, that's still a made-up name.
That's why it's called Random Bulls Generator.
Exactly.
It's random, not made up.
Guys who played even close to 82, even if only one season. It's like, no, they probably were on a Bulls roster for half a season and played like 15 games.
Correct. So that's right, TV is the slander of young Barrett, sir. How dare you, Stephen? Oh, that's terrible. That's that Jimmy Butler in him. It's just attacking him. It's attacking him, dog.
Everybody who has any like ounce of Jimmy Butler energy in them has extra doses just oozing out over the last 2 days.
Oh, yes, no question about it.
And rightly so.
Rightfully so. Definitely deserve it. Rightfully so. Absolutely right. Get it out. Let it ooze out of you, sir. Let it ooze out, Steven.
The man wanted to win. People on the team didn't like that. He pushed him a little too hard, and he got it shipped out of town for it. That's how I remember it going down.
That is.
That's how you remember it? Oh, okay.
I remember it going down.
That's one way to rewrite that chapter of Bulls history, I suppose.
Boy, the revisionist, boy.
Well, you know, history's written by the winners, and Jimmy Butler just won a series, so that's how I'm going to
I'm about to say, I don't know why he's writing in.
Yeah.
Let's not get crazy out here.
I don't necessarily think that history written by the winners is the be all end all. I mean, there are some people in certain parts of the flyover Middle America and South who refer to it as the War of Northerly Aggression. You won't find that in many history books, but
oh my God. What's that? The War of Northern? It's something wrong with him, man. Something wrong with him. It really is. It's all right, though.
They're not right, but they still talk about it that way.
This is true. They're not right, but they still talk about it.
Some people can talk about the Jimmy Butler era ending in a way that's not accurate, but makes them happy.
You know, the fact that your comparison to Jimmy Butler was the Civil War it says a lot about you there, sir.
He divided Bulls Nation. What else do you call it?
Oh, Fridays. Oh, Friday. Oh, man.
Late April Fridays with the Bulls out of the playoffs.
Look at the joy. Shout out to you and your boy D-Wade. I'm happy for you.
Oh, yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, real quick before we move to my Random Bulls generator, for real shout out to D-Wade.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that story that came through earlier this week, but he spoke out about how he's like moving his family out of the state of Florida, where they have been for all these years, based in Miami, because Florida politics are an absolute trash can, and especially the way that the politics of that state view the rights of the LGBTQ, and you know, he has a daughter who is trans, and he has been so supportive and open about it, just like you know, his wife and co-parenter Gabrielle Union. And the fact that D-Wade was just like, F this state, y'all are going backwards, and I'm not going to be here for that, and I'm not going to let my kids be here for that and be persecuted in any way that's not fair to them. Good on him for that. I've always respected the father that Dwayne Wade is. You know, his basketball career is a completely different thing, and I can compartmentalize that. But I loved seeing that from him when he went and spoke about that openly recently. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him, man. Moving out of a place that, you know, he owns. You know what I'm saying? It says a lot. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And you and I had a conversation recently about how both of us have some extended family that live down in Florida, and that we need to, you know, extricate them out of there. And
that was you. That was you, sir. Trying to put me, like, you know what I'm saying? Take this shovel.
And then we could just carpet bomb the entire state of Florida and let it sink into the Atlantic Ocean. If there are any Bulls fans out there, Bulls Nation, listening or watching along who live in Florida, A, I'm sorry. B, you should probably fix that and not live in Florida.
Hey, man, shout out to all y'all, man. Don't listen to Matt. Shout out to you, man. Y'all be safe, though, out there. Y'all be safe.
Man Eater Pug saying rare D-Wade W. Yes, it was. It was a rare D-Wade W.
He's got a lot of them. I'm just telling you. He's got a lot. Got a lot of W's.
All right. Let's go to RBG part 2.
All right.
Now this guy is definitely more prominent as far as his NBA career.
Okay.
He played a lot of games, a lot of seasons, played for a lot of different teams. His Bulls tenure was short, very short. So much so that I forgot it existed.
Okay. All right. Let's see who this is.
Steven, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Huh.
And it's hard to tell with the way that it's cropped, but I will give you the first hint that that is number 35 that he is wearing.
Number 35. Okay, it's wild because he looked like he could have played in the 90s or 2000s.
Well, he played from 1990 to 2003. So you are correct about that.
To 2000 and when?
2003 was his final year.
13 years? Like in the league? 13 years?
In the league, 13 years.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So he was a great teammate, obviously. Definitely a big man. Definitely a forward, looks like. So does he have a ring?
To my knowledge, he does not.
Okay.
However,
go ahead.
Came close.
So he was on that 94 squad then. If he came close. If we're talking Bulls. If we're talking Bulls.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about in his NBA career, did he win a ring? No. Came close. Not necessarily with the Bulls.
Okay. All right. What years was he here?
On the Bulls?
Yes.
94, 95.
Okay.
So the non-title sandwiched mid-dynasty year. One of the two.
All right, so I was right on that part.
You were right on that part.
He was right on that part. 94, 95. Looks like Scott
Closest
Williams.
he got to a chip was after that, after having left the Bulls.
Closest he got was after having left the Bulls. So either played for Orlando or Utah or no, Houston won. Huh. Interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know who that is.
You named
35.
the team.
Number 35.
Utah. He was on those Utah teams that played the Bulls in the finals in consecutive years.
Wait, that's not Greg Foster, is it?
It is Greg Foster.
Oh, snap. It's Greg Foster. It's Greg Foster. Wow. Greg Foster.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't recognize without the goatee.
Right. Yeah, I didn't either. And that's one of like 3 pictures that exist on the internet of Greg Foster in a Bulls jersey. Because they signed him like leading up to training camp in the fall of 94.
Right.
And he was waived by December.
Right.
I think he played like 17 games. Yeah, 17 games.
So here's a Greg Foster fact. Greg Foster owns a car dealership in El Paso, Texas. Yes,
of course he does.
Greg Foster runs, at least when I was down there around that time, like 2006 and stuff like that. He had his own car. Because I remember I would see it and I see that name, and then I saw like, dude, that's Greg Foster. I know Greg Foster. He who? That was wild. Shout out to him for having that. Shout out Greg Foster for having that.
Played in all 6 games against the Bulls in the 97 finals.
He sure did.
And played all 6 games against the Bulls in the 98 finals as well.
He sure did, man. Absolutely he did. Greg Foster. Wow.
I had a memory in my brain from childhood NBA 90s Bulls dynasty years of what Greg Foster looked like, and I found that picture of him online, and I was like, that does not look at all like Greg Foster.
That is not Greg Foster, man. Like, it's about the goatee with him. That's how I always remember him.
That is the identifying characteristic. That is the feature.
And I believe he was number 43 on Utah, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
I definitely remember Greg Foster. He wasn't terrible.
I hated him.
Why'd you hate him? Because of Utah?
Because of Utah. Anytime he checked in, I was like, oh man, I hope Dennis just cold cocks that guy.
He wasn't terrible. Like, he really wasn't a terrible player. That's why he lasted so long.
Yeah.
He wasn't a horrible basketball player, but I mean, he wasn't gonna score all the points and stuff, but he did the dirty work kind of thing, get the rebounds and box out, and he would do that stuff.
13 seasons, man. 13 seasons.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out for doing that. And then parlaying that.
Right.
44. 44.
44. Okay. Because I thought Antoine Carr was 44, but maybe I misremembered. Because remember, Antoine Carr was on the Jazz team too.
Wait, was Antoine 55?
Maybe.
I think he might have been 55. Antoine Carr. Wow.
Right?
Man, dude. Yeah, the generator. This is what it brings up. The generator will bring up these kind of thoughts.
You're right. 55. He was 55.
Okay.
Antoine Carr, 55.
Yeah.
All right.
I watched a lot of them games.
Another delightfully fun round of Random Bulls Generator.
Yes.
We will do some throughout the offseason. A break, and then we'll come back and dive into Jimmy Bucket's greatness and all the other fun things going on in the NBA playoffs. Who do we have first in our friends and sponsors, Dave?
We've got, of course, what people love to do the most. Two things. Watch TV, save money. You like doing those two things. That's amazing. I'm going to go do one of those two things as soon as this is over. Hopefully I'll do that. And I'm going to do it like you should be doing it, y'all. And that's with Fubo TV. 140 plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. Got you covered from any angle you want it. You can stream live TV from any device that you got. Phone, laptop, iPad, Surface, it don't matter. Stream it, watch it, have some fun. Start watching immediately for a 7-day free trial. They give you 7 days free to try it out. No contract, no cable, no hassle. All you got to do is sign up and sit down and enjoy it. That's it. You don't have nothing else to do. Plus, when you're watching something and you're like, oh man, that's dope. I need to record that because I want to watch it later because I'm going to get up off my couch and actually go make some food and then come sit back down, but I don't want to miss nothing. 1,000 hours of that cloud DVR, and they get that to you at no extra charge, y'all. No extra charge. You're getting this stuff. And all these events, you know, the NFL draft is going on. It's going on right now. That NHL draft is coming up on ESPN. Of course, the NHL and the NBA playoffs are going on. And of course, if you want to watch that baseball, you got the Marquee Network. You got NBC Sports Chicago, where you can check out your Chicago Cubs. It's
on.
So use the link in the description to sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. So you get a week for free, and then you get a whole month 15% off. You can't beat this kind of deal right here, y'all, because it's Fubo TV. Turn it on, sit it down, enjoy.
Today's episode of CHGO Bulls is also brought to you by our friends at Goose Island, Chicago's beer since 1988.
Beer.
One of my favorites to drink in the summertime is the Goose IPA, a 6-time medal winner at the Great American Beer Fest, always in style, citrus aroma, and a bold hop finish. Plus the new line of a variety of beer hugs in that pale ale family, including the tropical beer hug, the Imperial IPA at 9.9%. Drink one of those, you're good to go. Dangerously delicious. Plus the new full pocket pills for all of you Pilsner fans out there. The everyday beer, and it's what brewers are drinking. Grab yourself an ultra fresh brewery exclusive beer at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown, just down the road from our CHGO studios. Goose Island Beer Company, it's Chicago's beer, and it's also partnering with us for what was a rousingly successful night one for our CHGO Bears draft party. Joe's on Weed Street. And again tonight, night two. Yeah. If you're thinking to yourself, what am I going to do tonight, Friday night? Don't have any plans yet? If you live in the Chicago area, the surrounding suburbs, you can still get tickets on our Eventbrite site, on our ALLCITY website right now. Get yourself a ticket. Come drink. Come hang out with Bears fans and watch rounds 2 and 3 of the draft, sponsored by our friends at Goose Island.
Oh, yes. Matt, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Goose Island, to say it, you know, I wish I had a bigger word for it, but they replenish the cupboards at the CHGO studios, sir. I don't think you understand. Steven, I know you've seen it. I saw they have replenished.
I didn't see it, but I did get a text from Jake asking if I could pick up 15 to 20 cases of beer with Chris. 15 to 20.
Listen.
So I'm looking forward to getting in the office.
Hey, man, it's a lot of variety. I'll say that. And I saw a picture from Cody of stuff, and he was like, and Jake was like, yeah, that's the stuff. It was sitting in front of the Mountain Dew machine. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's the stuff we couldn't fit into the cabinets. I was like, what? I was like, dude, replenish.
Wait,
shout out Goose Island.
Why are we remote right now? Let's go over there.
Were all those beers there when we were in studio on Wednesday?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they weren't.
Okay.
No, they weren't.
I feel like I was like, I feel like I would have noticed if there were piles of cases of Goose Island that were not previously in our studio.
No,
well,
you would have saw it.
That
bro.
makes me excited for next week when we get back to studio. I hope they're not all gone by then.
Oh, they won't be. You'll be okay. You'll be all right.
All right, let's talk playoffs, shall we? Let's start with the unthinkable. I don't know how many different things had to go right for Miami and how many things simultaneously had to go wrong for the Bucks for this series to be Heat in 5. But I feel like it's a very long list.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Dave, but the first thing that I want to get your thoughts on is the thing that I took away from this series the most, which is I think Mike Budenholzer is done. Like done. And just to throw a quick, somewhat Bulls-related tangent in there, for all the complaining that a huge population of Bulls fans do about Billy No Adjustments Donovan, Mike Budenholzer just got his ass spanked by Spoelstra in that series.
Yep.
You could point to a dozen different head-scratching, inexplicable, inexcusable mistakes from Budenholzer spanning games 4 and 5 alone, by the way, in which both of those games, the Bucks had a lead numbering somewhere in the teens in the second half or even fourth quarter, and watched both of those evaporate. Actually, both fourth quarter. They were up 14 with like 6.5 to go in game 4. They were up 16 with 10 minutes and change to go in game 5. And Mike Budenholzer was like, how can I perfectly F up all of this to ensure a loss instead of a win? Were you as confused about that? Well, not maybe confused, but like in disbelief of how badly Budenholzer handled those last 2 losses?
I wasn't surprised, to be real with you. I've never liked Budenholzer, if I'm being candid. I've never thought he could coach. I've never been a big fan of his, man. Of course, he got the ring, and so that's what bought him his time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. Like, he got a ring that bought him time, and a ring nobody thought that they were going to get. Everybody had Phoenix, ushered in, except me. I didn't pick Phoenix.
I had the Bucks.
Yeah, me too. I had the Bucks. Because they had Giannis, and I just like I don't know what you have for that. And obviously the answer was nothing. I never thought he was great. There were years. I wish I could remember the year when they went out in the playoffs. I think they got swept, and I was like, fire this man immediately. And I was like, get him out. And I would just yell about it on my podcast about how this dude cannot coach because he can't make adjustments. And I'm talking simple ones that you're supposed to make. He did not make them. He
barely sent any team. Jimmy was the only one cooking him. How do you not double Jimmy and get the ball out of his hands?
Dude, listen, look. In 2015, Budenholzer, they lost 4 straight to Cleveland, and that was when they got swept. 2016, 4 straight to Cleveland when they got swept. 2019, 4 straight to Toronto and 6. Remember, they won the first 2 and Toronto got their ass out of there 4 straight. 2020, lost 3 straight to Miami in 5. And 2023, lost 3 straight to Miami in 5. Budenholzer, the adjustments were baffling. One, the last play after Jimmy, I think it was when Jimmy did the tip, and they still had a timeout. And they didn't take the timeout.
And on the clock.
They inbound the ball. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
And after the game, Budenholzer was like, yeah, we really needed a timeout there. And it's like, well, you're the coach and you had one and you didn't call it.
You got one. You got one right there. You are the coach.
Maybe Jimmy doesn't make that ridiculously spectacular falling down tip in if he doesn't take Brook Lopez off the floor.
That's the other thing I was going to
That
get
dude
into.
was-
Yes, Matt. Yes, he took Lopez. Brooke Lopez off the floor. 7 foot tall Brooke Lopez. Because when that play happened, I was like, first I didn't like Giannis being on the inbounder, but I understood it because he's huge. I get it. He's huge. But I'm like, I'd rather get another dude out there and get the, I don't know, Defensive Player of the Year winner out there actually guarding someone. That's just my thing. You got other tall people who can do that. But to not have Lopez out there, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to go with Connington. You know, I'm going to go with that. Go with Pat Connington. Dumb decision. And then, Matt, he's got Jay Crowder on his team. They traded about 5 second-round picks for Jay Crowder in like a 3 or 14 team trade. And he had DNP after DNP after DNP. And Crowder came out and was like, I've never experienced anything like this. He's like, look at my resume. How don't I play? I sat out in Phoenix so I could get where I wanted to be to play. I'm like, cool, I'm here. And now you're not going to play me? Oh, man, we could really use some defense. Well, guess who does that? Well, man, Jimmy Butler's really struggling against Drew Holiday. How about you put him up against a dude who went to college with him? How about you put him up against that dude who has that kind of skill and talent? And then I got to listen to Giannis say, I wish I had an opportunity to guard him, but the coach didn't want to do it that way. One, that's Giannis' fault too, because he's supposed to say, Coach, I got him on that part. Mm-hmm. But two, the fact of even throwing Budenholzer out there like that lets you know. Budenholzer, no, he should be fired tomorrow. Like, I would have let him go as soon as that buzzer sounded. Would have been packing his bags and telling him, thanks for all your help. Good luck in your future endeavors. Absolutely terrible job. Terrible.
I saw somebody in the comments earlier mentioning that, Giannis was afraid to touch the ball late fourth quarter OT because of, the fact that he was having a terrible night at the free throw line.
Yes,
Albert in the comments said, and because I think he ended like 10 of 23 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
If Giannis hits, 50% of the free throws he misses, the Bucks win this game in regulation.
Yeah,
but again, it's like you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. Like, it nearly cost the Bucks a turnover. When he was like, after that jump ball, Giannis was like playing hot potato with the ball, and he's your MVP. He's the league's MVP. It's wild. Yeah. But then we get to the greatest part, and then we can move on to Giannis's post-game comments.
Okay.
Your season is on the line. You are the odds-on championship favorites and pretty much have been all season long.
I'm going to sit back for this one.
You're on your home floor. You coughed up a huge lead in game 4 to put yourself in this situation. You've now let this game go to overtime when it should have been done in regulation. And your last possession of the season is a scatterbrained, Euro-stepping Grayson Allen, who doesn't see a clean look at a 3 when he first gets the ball. Because obviously, hey, if Grayson's open and has a clean look at 3, you take that 3 and maybe you win. End of overtime, keep yourself alive, move on to game 6. He puts the ball on the floor, tries to dribble through the entire Heat defense, and doesn't even realize that there is 3, 2, 1. Oops. End of game. Didn't even get a shot off. Did not get a shot off. How does Budenholzer let that happen? Obviously, as a gigantic Grayson Allen hater, that brought me a lot of joy, and it was funny to watch Grayson fail, and it was satisfying to watch Grayson fail. But he's not 100% to blame. He's only 80 or 85% to blame, because you still could have called a timeout and reset something up with the seconds you had remaining. How do you just let your season end with, well, I hope this Grayson Allen Euro step floater works out? Oh, it didn't, because the clock ran to 0. It is both mind-boggling and so deliciously satisfying to me that is the way the Bucks season ended. How is it Grayson Allen has the ball in his hands as the clock hits 0 and you don't get a shot off?
Oh, man. I thought of you.
I love it so much.
I thought of you immediately, man. I thought of you immediately. Immediately when I saw it, I was like, Matt is going to have a field day. He would look at him like, oh my God, a field day
Delicious.
with this. Just tasty morsels handed to him, dog. Oh my God. I laughed so hard. It was so funny. And it didn't make sense. Like, I got the pump fake, but then he makes the move inside where he's basically free throw line extended. And I'm like, take the shot. It's right there. It was wide open. Nope. Let me make one more move and hit him with this Euro. And then goes up and misses everything. And I was like, that's how you end? That's how it goes down? Oh my God. It was hilariously bad. It was a terrible play. You know, Steven, I just sent you Matt Peck's tweet right after that occurred, sir. If you get some time, go ahead and put that up. If you get some time, Steven, go ahead and I want people to see this.
Which one? Because I sent 2 tweets making fun of Grayson Allen.
I know you did. I know you did. But I sent the one that made me smile the most. And I'll send that one. That's the one I'll send. But I knew it when it happened that there was no one who was going to go lose his mind more than one Matthew Peck. Look at this man. Look at this joy. Look at the joy on this man's face right here.
Yeah.
Don't play the music. I don't want you to get in trouble. Don't play the music. Don't play the music. Don't play the music. But dude, just look at him. Just look at him. Look at him, dog. Look at this man, dog. Oh, take a sip. What are you drinking there, man?
Yeah.
What are we sipping on?
That's a scotch and soda with a little twist.
Mixed with some Grayson Allen tears.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Look at him, dog. Look how satisfied he is.
Good call on not playing the audio so we don't get flagged for copyright and taken down. But
correct.
I was listening to Three Little Birds.
Sorry for cutting you off, but that's a good call.
I was listening to 3 Little Birds by Bob Marley.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is going to be all right. And just, loving my life. God, I was so happy.
It definitely showed, man. Like, yes, Jelly, the definition of smug. and I like how old Buckner says, hat firmly in place.
Oh.
Yes, hat firmly in place.
Anywhere.
He was so happy.
Okay, then we get to the Giannis post-game interview.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't notice who it was. I think he called the reporter Eric, who I guess asked him the same question when the Bucks season came to a short end last season. Not as dramatically first round losing 5 to a play-in team like it did this year. But Giannis took some sort of offense or certainly was frustrated by the question as a repeat question about whether or not the season was a failure. And Giannis had a lot to say on it. And one of the things that he did say was that Michael Jordan played 15 years and won 6 championships. The other 9 years were a failure? That's what you're telling me? It's the wrong question. There's no failure. What did you think about that, Dave?
You know what? I think that his whole comment should be studied in like schools and things. I think people should listen to this when they're down about something in their life, like kids, adults, whatever, should be listening to this stuff. Because I agree with his sentiment. I do, and his feeling about how he says it. But no, bro, there is such thing as failing and such thing as failure. And I don't think it means you're a failure of a person, of a human being. But when you fall short of a goal that you have set up and accomplished, especially when you're the number 1 team in the entire conference and you don't just lose, but you get gentleman swept up out of there, you failed. You failed to reach your goal. You know what I'm saying? You failed to get there. That doesn't make you a terrible person. You know what I mean? It doesn't make it bad. And that's what the beauty of sports is. You get to try again. You know, you're like, okay, it didn't work out. We'll come back again. How many times, Matt, did Michael Jordan, and that's funny he said Jordan, because I'm like, the first thing pops in your head is the Jordan clip of my saying I failed over and over and over.
Jordan
That's
quote
why I
about
succeed.
failure.
Yes.
I fail and I fail and I fail and I fail over and over, and that is why I succeed. It's like
a whole quote, a whole commercial about it. And listing his times he came up short. Like, this is, that's a part of it. Kobe Bryant. I remember I just recently watched a clip of him where the reporter said basically the same question. But he said, Kobe, you won MVP this year and you led your team to the finals. How do you categorize this season? And Kobe said, we didn't win, so we failed. Like, it was that simple, dog. Like, I don't want to redefine things in this. It's okay to fail. I'm not saying, you're a failure of a human being, but it's okay to fail because you're human. You come up short on goals and things like that. But you can't redefine it in this one, man. Like, it's definitely fair.
I think a lot of the sentiment of what Giannis was trying to express rings true and is a good outlook to have.
Yes.
The only part of it that was inaccurate is that he seems to be debating the definition of failure and whether or not this was one, when, as you said, I mean, this was a failure. It's okay that it was a failure because Giannis will come back and he will try again. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better. But to highlight MJ in the 6 rings, 15 years, in many of those where they came up short, going to war with the bad boy Pistons over and over again, or getting beaten by burn the 86 Celtics, one of the greatest NBA teams of history. Like, they were building towards something and kept coming up short, and then getting a little closer, but still coming up short. And those were failures building to something. It's not like the Bucks are defending champs coming into this, but they were a 1 seed that looked like the best team in the league all season long. They were the odds-on favorites to win the championship, and they lost to an 8th seed that had to make their way through a play-in loss and then a play-in win to get to the playoffs. And they lost to them in 5 as a 1 seed. I don't think you can call that anything other than a failure, given the expectations.
I completely agree with you. And Steven, can you put up the second part of that quote? Because I just wanted people to see that more of it, what he says. There's no failure in sports. There's good days and bad days. So days you are able to be successful. Some days you are not. Some days it's your turn. Some days it's not your turn. That's what sports is all about. You don't always win, so other people are going to win. Simple as that. I feel all of that, and it was much longer quote, you know what I mean? But I feel all of that. It's not about that. Like, I always feel like failures are lessons, you know what I mean? And they can become testimonies from when you do your thing, when you reach a certain level. That's kind of a good thing, you know what I mean? But it's okay to say, okay, we failed. We came up short. We didn't get it. Even saying come up short is just another way of saying you failed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I guess it's just, we're getting caught up on semantics and wordplay of it. You know what I mean? How they want to look at it and say it. Matt, when you were in school and you got an F, the F was for failure. Like, like that's what it was. It's okay. Even some people, I went to a school where they gave you U's. They didn't give you F's. They gave you U's. And U's meant unsatisfactory. And a U was still a F. Because it still meant you failed. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what letter you call. You could have called it a Z. It still meant you still failed. You're not passing. That's what that means. You're not passing, dog. You failed. So I always feel like failure is a thing, Matt, that happens when you stay there. You know what I mean? After you lose it, but you wallow in it and you stay there and you're not trying to get out of it and get better and do things like that. That's where it become a complete failure, just personally, you know what I'm saying, for yourself. But getting knocked down 7 times and getting up 8 is what it's about. Like Dwayne Wade says it all the time. It's okay to come up short. It's okay to fail. It's okay to do those things, man. But all you do is you get back up and you try again and you go for it again, man. And you learn from that lesson. You're like, okay, this didn't work. Budenholzer is an idiot. Okay, we won't deal with that no more. Let's recramp this and do this and come back and try again, man. That's all we're saying. That's all it is, bro. Yeah. But yes, it is failure.
Giannis being as well liked as he is across the league by media and by players, by whoever, it's some people took like such offense to these comments, like, oh, come on, like this is soft, like, yeah, you failed, you got to call it. Whereas I'm like, I think like you said, semantics wise, you're a little bit off. A lot of what you said is wonderful, encouraging words that should be heard by everybody, regardless of whether they're a professional athlete or whatever they do in their life, as far as success compared to failure and having those things. He was on the money on a lot of it. And I think Giannis has so much goodwill around the league that this will just be a blip.
Oh, yeah.
We'll probably look back on it fondly. But yeah, if you're Budenholzer, this is like, no, this is a failure and it's largely on you. And like you might get a second chance somewhere else or your next chance somewhere else. But the person who failure is not Giannis, who was playing hurt, who missed 1 2/3 of the losses that they took in this series because of his bad back. Giannis is going to get to try again.
Yes.
Budenholzer does not deserve another chance to try again in Milwaukee after that series. My God.
He does not.
Like,
he does not, man.
Spo pantsed him in front of the whole gym class. Oh, my God.
Dude, even Eric Spoelstra came out. I can't remember who said it. I think it was Kyle Lowry. It was like, dude, when they didn't take the time out, he's like, wait a minute, they didn't take a time out? Like, for real? Like, even he was puzzled about what was going on, dog. So if you're puzzling the dude who was like, we think is a great coach, and you're not doing the simple stuff, you can't coach my team. I don't know how the Bucks Nation feels, but you can't coach my squad.
He was one tiny step away from the Boylan, I thought we had 5 players on the floor, but actually we only have 4. Like, that I was expecting to see.
Oh, Lord. When you start bringing up those names, then you're not in good company. You're not in good company, man. Oh, my goodness.
All right, let's take our second break, then we'll come back to wrap up with a few thoughts about the other series going around in the NBA playoffs. Big Dave.
Oh, the Rays, y'all. Because they never understood. They just ain't get it. They said, why do you have to spend all this money on some sunglasses where you can ride with us and get them premium polarized shades and save you some money? You can look fly for an affordable price. Shady Rays is your sunglasses place for all of that. Independent sunglasses company that offers that world-class product that is just as good as any expensive pair that you have ever put on your wonderful face. Those durable frames, those extremely clear optics, those premium polarized shades that are perfect for your outdoor, and as Matt always shows you, indoor adventures. Plus, they have got the Matt Peck lost and broken replacements plan. Let's say, swing, he's mad. Or let's say he's happy because Grayson Allen has failed and he's just tossing stuff out because he's just ecstatic. Well, guess what? If he breaks those glasses, he can send them back to Shady Rays for free and he'll get a brand new pair. Also, if you just don't like the glasses that you got from Shady Rays, you get there and they didn't look like what you thought they were, you can send those back for free within 30 days and get yourself a different pair, y'all. Shady Rays has got your back. There's no risk when you shop. They got your back. So, exclusively for all you awesome listeners out there, Shady Rays is giving their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code CHGO for 50% off of 2+ pairs of polarized premium shades. Try it for yourself because 250,000 people have given it a 5-star rating, and you will be the next one to do that because it's Shady Rays. Well, the Rays are oh so shady.
We need to come up with a synonym for shades that starts with a P so you could really hammer home that last part of the alliteration. Premium pairs of polarized. And then we need a P word that means sunglasses.
You're right. You're right.
Today's episode of CHGO Bulls also brought to you by our friends at ComEd. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities they serve, helping manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future. That's right, ComEd offers a wide variety of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across their territory. ComEd also offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities, like for HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes. Here's how it works. An authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. These can be done in person or virtually and last approximately 2 hours. Then, within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects that they can start working on immediately. Each recommendation will include estimated energy savings, project cost, potential incentives, and simple payback plans. If you own a business, whether it be selling sunglasses or delicious beers, whatever your business is, don't wait. Get started saving money and energy today. For energy-saving tips, lighting incentives, or to schedule your free facility assessment, go to ComEd.com/powering-biz. That's B-I-Z biz. Big Dave, would you like that website one more time?
I want to hear that one more time, Matthew Peck, please.
That website again is ComEd.com/powering-biz. Schedule your appointment today.
Today!
Not tomorrow. Not the day after tomorrow. Not next week. Today.
Right now.
All right, Dave. Where do you want to touch on across the NBA playoffs as far as what's been happening recently?
Let's start Warriors and Kings.
The Warriors finally won on the road.
Finally won on the road. Yes, this is why I thought that game 5 that the Kings had to win that game. This is exactly why. Because that pressure, when it's on, you know who shows up in game 6s is Klay Thompson. That's what he does. And he did that. He showed up and did his thing. He balled out, man. He played great. They just played great, man. And I'm sure the injury had something to do with De'Aaron Fox, being a little off, but he started off really hot. He really did. He started off really well, but they had too many lulls in their offense, not enough from Malik Monk. And Harrison Barnes is looking like the Warriors' Harrison Barnes in the finals right now, man. He is just missing everything wide open, but they still got a shot. It's not going to be easy at all, but they still got a shot, man.
I would not be surprised if the Kings find a way to win this game tonight and force a game 7 back in Sacramento. Yeah. It seems like everybody is feeling that, okay, well, now that the Warriors got that crucial game 5 to go up 3-2, chance to close at home in game 6, the Warriors are great at home. And as you mentioned, De'Aaron Fox bothering for at least, like you said, I think like in the Fox not able to knock down shots when they needed him to. Let's see, what did he finish? He finished 9 of 25. And I think like it was like 1 for 10, down the stretch or something like that. I commend De'Aaron Fox for playing through this injury. You could tell he's tough as nails. You could tell this entire Kings team, as young and inexperienced as they are fighting like hell. Like they haven't really given the Warriors any of the Warriors 3 wins. Like they've been close. True. And even when the Warriors are playing at their best, the Kings are just, for 47 minutes and 30 seconds. Like it's just like one play here or there in each of these Warriors wins. Yeah. So I think that the Kings can find a way to win this one and bring it back for a game 7. And I'm also talking myself into that because that's what I want. I don't want to watch one more Kings Warriors game. I want to watch 2 more Kings Warriors games.
Yes. After game 1, that's exactly what I put out on Twitter. Dear NBA, 7 games of this. Thank you. Sincerely, everyone. Everybody wants 7 of this. I agree.
And it's fun. People are talking about the Kings just kind of playing with house money because even though they were a top seed and have home court in this first round, people weren't really expecting them to win. And look, and I picked the Warriors. Until that championship pedigree and that championship core is dismantled, I cannot pick against them. Like it doesn't matter what the series is. I picked them. Even though I was like, I haven't seen them win a road game since like 2021, I still picked them to win the series because I thought that championship experience could get them 1 road win, and that if necessary, they could win 3 games at home. But I just, at this point, I don't have a rooting interest. I just want to be entertained, and we've been entertained.
You're absolutely right, man. Bring me the entertainment.
The other game 6 that we got on deck, Lakers Grizzlies. I think a lot of people maybe just sort of once the Lakers went up 3-1 and Ja's playing hurt a little bit and people are starting to talk more about Dylan Brooks and his various beefs with players, with the media, whatever. people kind of just like, I think, took at least one eye off of this series and assumed that the Lakers were just going to roll right on.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a fight back from the Grizz to force this Game 6, Dave.
Without a doubt. Like you said, they had their backs against the wall, and I'm not sure the Lakers came in cocky. I'm not saying that, but like you said, people around them, a lot of fans came in like, oh, this is a wrap. Like, it's time to go home. Let's set it up. Ja's hurt. Brooks is trash. Let's go home. We're done. And no, like, John Moran is a goon, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still trying to jump over everyone. And again, can we please get rid of that charge foul right underneath the basket, man? Like, until something really tragic happens to somebody. Because when LeBron slid underneath him and got that charge, man, that was, man, look, that could have been disastrous, bro. They really got to do something about that call. But they have an opportunity. I think Desmond Bain is going to find his way. I really do think Dillon Brooks is going to have a good game. I think he's due for a good game. He has not been good at any game so far. I think he's due for a game against the Lakers. And I think it comes in a very villainous kind of way in LA.
Like, it's interesting that you know, Dillon Brooks is, you know, making all this noise, but the reason theoretically that he's out there playing heavy minutes is to check LeBron. Right. And from what I could tell, what I watched of that, you know, Lakers Grizz game, I think LeBron kind of saw the Lakers getting off to a bit of a sluggish start. He himself did not have a great start to his night shooting the ball. I think he finished like 1 of 11 from downtown and like 5 of 19 overall. Like,
right.
I think LeBron was like, well, okay, whatever. I'm old and exhausted. We'll just go win this in LA in Game 6. And that I think there's evidence of LeBron kind of, you know, trying to feel out certain playoff games and being like, is this a do or die actual win or go home game? No. Then I'm going to save myself for what is a win or go home game.
There's a lot of evidence of that. Yeah.
Right. So like, if like, to me, the Lakers have to treat Game 6 like it's a Game 7 because they do not want to. If you let the Grizzlies tie this up 3-3 and then go back to Memphis, which by the way, that's like, you know, like Game 6 off day, Game 7 in less than 48 hours. You got to fly all the way back to Memphis for a Game 7. The Lakers do not want that. Absolutely do not want that.
Absolutely not. And the longer it goes, the better it is for Memphis because it allows Ja to continue to heal and continue to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want that, man. Attack it now while you can. And they're going to find their shot because they have been shooting terribly from 3. They're not a great 3-point shooting team, but they're not the Bulls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're a better shooting team than that. So, yeah. It's going to be an interesting game. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. They better wrap this up.
And the Brooks element of it is interesting because his minutes have been shrinking as the series has gone on. And, you know, like they're sending Tillman out there to guard LeBron for long stretches. And if Dillon Brooks, who's a very streaky shooter and who's not been shooting well in the playoffs, if he can't knock down a shot and you also aren't asking him to be your primary LeBron defender, then like, why is he on the floor?
Yeah,
like
indeed.
And he didn't play like practically at all in the second half of that, you know, Grizzlies win to keep the series alive. I'm very curious to see, you know, what Jenkins does with those minutes in Game 6.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Which is tonight. We didn't even have time to get to the fact that we have Heat Knicks as a semifinal in the East. We've got Celtics Sixers, a series that everybody's been looking forward to for months now. Let's probably dive into that on Monday as we kick off our fresh set of shows next week because there are so many talking points there. I can't believe it. Tibbs versus Jimmy. Oh, my God. In the second round of the playoffs. Nobody thought both of those teams would be there at all. It's amazing. Which, speaking of, our episode yesterday, in case you missed it, our guys, Will the Goat and Mark K, had a chat with the legendary Bulls beat reporter. And Mark K's former feud partner and now BFF, Joe Cali of the Sun Times. Check that episode out. Give it a listen if you haven't yet.
My heart. So happy.
Doesn't that just make you smile?
So happy. I'm so happy. Oh.
All right. That's it for the week. Thanks, everybody. Hit that thumbs up button before you head out if you're watching along on YouTube or watching the replay on YouTube. And have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to head down to Joe's on Weed in a minute here and go hang out with our fellow Bears fans. Grab yourself a last-second ticket if you want to come too. Big Dave, have a wonderful weekend, sir.
You too, my friend.
And Steven, thanks for hopping on, producing for us today. Always a pleasure to see you, even if you're wearing a Jimmy Butler jersey. Enjoy basking in it while you can. While you can.
Never taking it off.
Never taking it off. Never.
The G stands for gets, y'all. Never doubting
Shout
Jimmy
out.
ever again. I have been converted. I'm a born again buckets guy.
Well, I found what I'm clipping from this show. There it is.
That makes
Have a great weekend, Bulls Nation. We will be back talking to y'all on Monday. For Steven, Big Dave, our crew at CHGO, see Red be good.
Peace.